This happened in Asheville, North Carolina. October 30th, 2024. The boy's name was Tyler Bennett, 11 years old. He lived with his mom in a small house at the end of the street. Tyler loved Halloween. This year he wanted to make something really scary. On October 29th, Tyler picked the biggest pumpkin he could find. That evening, he carved it on the front porch. Triangle eyes, crooked nose, and a wide smile. Really wide, stretching from side to side. When he finished, it looked mean, scary, perfect. Tyler put a candle inside, lit it, set the pumpkin on the porch railing. The carved face glowed orange in the dark. That night, Tyler went to bed around 9 p.m. His bedroom window faced the front porch. He could see the pumpkin sitting there, still glowing. At 2:47 a.m., Tyler woke up. A scraping sound came from outside, from the porch. He walked to his window, looked out. The pumpkin was still there, but the smile was bigger, much bigger. The carved mouth stretched almost to the back now. Tyler rubbed his eyes. He was seeing things, just shadows. He went back to bed. The next morning, Tyler went outside. The pumpkin was gone. Then he saw them. Footprints, small round prints in the dirt, leading from where the pumpkin had been, across the porch, down the steps, and up to the front door. Tyler's heart started pounding. The prints were muddy, fresh, but they weren't human footprints. They were round, with strange marks, like fingers, like something had walked using its hands. The prints led right up to the door. Tyler opened it slowly. The prints continued inside, across the floor, down the hallway, and stopped at his bedroom door. It was closed. He'd left it open. Tyler reached for the handle, his hand shaking, pushed the door open. His room looked normal, but then he saw it. On his windowsill, the pumpkin, sitting there, facing his bed. The smile was impossibly wide now, split open, and inside was something dark, moving, like fingers reaching out. Tyler screamed. His mom came running, but when she looked, the pumpkin was gone. The windowsill was empty. His mom felt his forehead, said he was getting sick, made him get back in bed. Tyler lay there, staring at the empty windowsill. He knew what he'd seen. That night, Tyler stayed awake. At exactly 2:47 a.m., he saw it. The pumpkin. On the windowsill again, the smile even wider. It tilted forward, like a head nodding, and from inside came a sound, a wet, scraping, laughing sound. Tyler pulled his blanket over his head. When morning came, the pumpkin was gone, but on his floor were muddy prints, leading from the window to his bed, circling it over and over, like something had been walking around him all night, watching. Tyler refuses to carve pumpkins anymore, and every Halloween, at exactly 2:47 a.m., he hears it, that scraping sound, getting closer every year. This happened in Salem, Massachusetts, October 31st, 2023. 3 teenagers decided to investigate. Marcus, Jenna, and Devin. All 16. They'd heard stories about the house their whole lives, how it only showed up on Halloween, how kids who went inside never came back the same. Marcus didn't believe it, thought it was just urban legend, so he convinced his friends to check it out. They drove to Willow Creek Road around 10 p.m. The street was empty, dark. Then they saw it. At the end of the road, a Victorian house, 3 stories tall, paint peeling, windows dark. It looked abandoned. "I've driven down this road 100 times, Jenna said. "This house has never been here." They walked up to the front porch. The door was open. Just a crack. Marcus pushed it wider. "Hello?" No answer. They stepped inside. The house smelled like dust and rot. Devon's phone flashlight cut through the darkness. A hallway. Doors on both sides. They checked the first door. A living room. Furniture covered in sheets, everything coated in dust. The second door led to a kitchen. A table set for dinner. Food still on the plates. Fresh food. Like someone had just been eating. Marcus touched a plate. It was warm. They heard footsteps. From upstairs. Slow. Heavy. Walking across the floor above them. The footsteps stopped, then started again. Coming toward the stairs. "We should go," Marcus said. But Devon was already climbing the stairs. Marcus and Jenna followed. At the top was a long hallway. Doors on both sides. All closed except one. At the end, light spilled out, flickering. They heard whispering, multiple voices, coming from the lit room. Devon walked toward it, looked inside. His face went white. The room was full of mirrors, dozens of them, covering every wall. In the reflections, they saw people, faces pressed against the glass, watching them. Marcus recognized one, Sarah Chen, a girl from his school. She disappeared 2 years ago, on Halloween. But there she was, in the mirror, staring at him. "We need to leave, now." But when they turned around, the hallway was different, longer. The stairs were gone, just more doors, more hallways. "Where's the way out?" They ran, tried different doors. Each led to another room, another hallway. The house was changing, growing, trapping them. Devon checked his phone. The time was still 10:47 p.m., the same time they'd entered. Time had stopped. The footsteps came closer, from every direction, and the whispers turned to screams. Marcus found a window, tried to open it. It wouldn't move. He looked outside. The street was gone. Just darkness. Endless darkness. "The door." Jenna pointed. "The front door. Down the hallway." They ran, burst through, out onto the porch. They were back on Willow Creek Road, jumped in the car. Marcus drove away fast. Didn't stop until they were back in town. Devon's recording was gone, deleted. But they all remembered. The next day, they drove back. In daylight. The house was gone. Just empty land. But on Devon's phone, one photo remained. A selfie from the mirror room. In the background, dozens of faces pressed against glass, and in the center, the three of them. But their reflections were smiling, even though they looked terrified. Every Halloween since, they stay inside, doors locked, because last year they each received a text from an unknown number. "Come back. The house misses you." This happened in Boulder, Colorado, October 31st, 2023. Sarah Mitchell was 34 years old, marketing manager. Lived alone in a 2-story house on Oakwood Drive. She loved Halloween. Always bought the full-size candy bars. Made her house the most popular stop on the block. That night, kids started arriving around 6 p.m. Sarah answered the door dozens of times. Pirates, princesses, superheroes, all the usual costumes. Around 8:30 p.m., the doorbell rang again. Sarah grabbed the candy bowl, opened the door. A kid stood on her porch, small, maybe 8 or 9 years old, wearing all black and a white mask, completely blank. No eye holes, no mouth, just smooth white surface. The kid held out a pillowcase. Didn't say anything. Sarah waited. "Trick or treat," she prompted. The kid didn't respond, just stood there. Pillowcase extended. Sarah felt uncomfortable. Something was off. But she dropped candy into the bag anyway. 2 full-size bars. The kid didn't move, didn't lower the bag, just kept standing there. "Okay, happy Halloween," Sarah said. Started to close the door. The kid tilted its head, slowly, like a dog hearing a strange sound. Sarah stopped, looked closer. The mask. It wasn't moving with the kid's breathing, wasn't shifting or bunching at the edges. It looked smooth, seamless, like it was part of the skin. "Are you okay?" Sarah asked. The kid took a step forward. Sarah stepped back, her hand on the door, ready to close it. That's when she saw it, or rather, didn't see it. The mask had no straps, no elastic, no way it was staying on in the edges, where the mask should meet the neck. There was no line, no separation, just smooth continuation of that white surface. It wasn't a mask. Sarah's heart started pounding. "Where are your parents?" The kid tilted its head the other way, and where a mouth should be, the white surface rippled, like something was moving underneath, trying to form words. A sound came out, muffled, wrong, like static. Sarah slammed the door, locked it, stood there, breathing hard. She looked through the peephole. The kid was still standing there, not moving, just facing the door. After a minute, it turned around, walked down the porch steps, disappeared into the darkness. Sarah didn't answer the door for the rest of the night. At 10 p.m., the doorbell rang again. Sarah ignored it. Rang again and again. She looked through the peephole. The kid was back, standing at the door, pillowcase in hand. Sarah didn't move, didn't make a sound. The doorbell kept ringing, over and over. Then it stopped. Sarah watched through the peephole. The kid was still there, but now it was looking up, directly at the peephole, like it knew she was watching. Sarah backed away, went to the living room, turned off all the lights, sat on the couch, waiting. Around midnight, she heard something, tapping, on her window. She looked. The kid was outside, standing in her yard, tapping on the glass with one finger. Tap, tap, tap. Sarah grabbed her phone, called the police. While she waited, the tapping moved to another window, then another. The kid was circling the house. When police arrived 15 minutes later, they searched the yard. Found nothing. No kid, no footprints, nothing. The officers said it was probably just a prank, kids messing with her. But Sarah knew better. The next morning, she found something on her porch. The pillowcase, sitting there, still full of candy. But on the side, written in black marker, was her address, and underneath it, one word: soon. Sarah moved out 2 weeks later, sold the house, didn't tell the new owners why. Last Halloween, the new owners called her, said a strange kid kept coming to the door, wouldn't leave, wore a white mask, or what looked like a mask. They asked if she knew anything about it. Sarah hung up. She doesn't celebrate Halloween anymore. And every October 31st, she checks her windows. Because last year, she saw it, standing across the street from her new apartment. That same small figure, all black, white face, staring up at her window, still holding that pillowcase, still waiting.